This is the Ferrex 125cc lawnmower. I bought it from the Aldi website. It's got a 46cm cut, and in this video I'll show you what's inside the box and how to assemble it. This is the packaging. You can pause the video if you want to read the detail on the box. So as you can see inside the box, the mower comes virtually fully assembled. There is a small amount of assembly to do. So the mower is supplied without any oil, and you need to buy oil before you can actually use the mower. But as you can see, we've got oil on the outside of the mower there. There's obviously been some oil in there at some time, and somebody has had the box on its side or upside down when it's been transported. So as well as a mower, inside the box we've got the 55 litre grass collection box, and that comes in 3 sections. There's a handle, the bag and the rigid plastic top, a mulching plug, and that is one of the main reasons why I bought this mower, because it actually mulches. The bottom part of the handle, 2 toggle clamps, a cable clip, 2 nuts and bolts and a spanner. There's a plug spanner there for changing the spark plug, a Briggs & Stratton operator's manual for the engine, a quick start guide for the mower and a user manual for the mower. That is everything that comes in the box. So I'll start by assembling the grass box. Now the first thing I'm going to do is fit the handle. Now as you can see, the handle has got 2 different ends. There's a long pointed end and a thicker end at the back there, so it will only go in one way. It's quite simple. Pull it back until the grooves engage in the slots and then just push it forward while pressing down. Now it's already engaged at both ends, but it needs to be pushed forward until it clicks like that. So next I'm going to fit the bag onto the plastic part of the collection box. Now you can see there's a groove going around there. On the edge of the bag there is a moulded rubber strip. Push it up and in. I think it's pretty good to actually get it in a fair way so that it's easier to push the moulding up, and it actually is not difficult to do at all. It's just a little bit fiddly, it's not too bad. So that's this one side all done. Now I'll move over to the front and I'll just push that in, and you can feel it click in when it's holding it properly. That's that side done. Now then, if you don't make sure that they're all clicked in, when there's some weight on the bag it will pull out, so you've got to make sure that that moulding is protruding all the way around. So the next thing to do is to actually clip these plastic mouldings around that metal support there. It's very easy to do. It just, as you can see, it's just a plastic moulding, rubberized, so it bends easily and it just fits over this metal frame. So that is the grass bag holder fully assembled, and that's a 55 litre grass bag. So the next thing I'm going to do is to fit the lower handle. Now you'll notice on the lower handle there is a pin at the bottom of the handle on either side. It's a circular pin, and a little bit further up there's a hole. That is for the nut and the bolt. Actually, where my finger is, there is a round hole. Now the round hole on either side is for the pins at the bottom of the handle to go into. If I lower the handle in there, that slots into that pin, and we've got exactly the same on the other side. So I'm going to locate this side. Now there's plenty of spring in this handle. You can just pull it apart, drop it down and snap it in. So that is the handle actually located with the 2 pins at the end. Very simple. So next we've got to bolt the handle in place, and remember there's a square hole at the top there, and in the packaging you've got a coax bolt that's got a square moulding on the end there. So lift the handle up so the 2 holes align, the hole in the handle and the square hole. Make sure that the square part of the coax bolt is located in the square moulding on this bracket, and then bolt it down, and you can use a spanner that's provided to do that. Because you've got a square hole there for the coax bolt, it won't turn as you're tightening the nut up. So if it is turning when you're tightening the nut up, you haven't got this bolt located properly. It doesn't need to be too tight, it's a locking nut. And the same on this side. Coax bolt, square hole, turn it until the square bit's located, and then we'll put the nut on. There we go. So that's the lower section of the handle fitted. If you look, we've got the starter cord there. On the upper part of the handle you'll see there's this silver eye. The starter cord goes through the silver eye, so that needs to be on the right hand side as you're looking at the mower from the back, so that you know which way to orientate the handle. And obviously the cables are all running up the left hand side. The mower comes with 2 toggle clamps, and that is how you can actually fold and extend the handle. So as you can see, there's a quartz bolt there in the handle. Just unscrew that. There's a big washer there, quartz bolt, washer and handle. So starting on this side, I'm going to put the quartz bolt through so that it locates in the square hole on this part of the handle. Lift up the upper handle and slot it through the bolts, and then I'm just going to let it like rest on my arm while I do that. On with the washer. The square bit of the toggle clamp is on the outside, so just put the toggle clamp on there and start it off. Now if you lift up the handle, now that you've done that, you can actually squeeze the handle a bit to hold it while you do the other side, so that makes life a little bit easier. So the toggle clamp works. You can adjust that by tightening or slackening it off, but all that does is pull the top handle into the lower handle, and you'll notice that the moulding on the top handle is curved, so it actually slots around the bottom handle, so that makes life really easy. I'll do the same with the other side. So again, the quartz bolt, there's a square hole, it goes through there, locates in the square. There's enough spring on this handle to pull it out. Make sure the cables are out of the way. Push the handle over the bolt. There's the washer, and it might need squeezing in a bit to get it started, but then start with the toggle clamp. And again, it's trying to find the right, that's too tight, I need to slacken it off a bit. That's still too tight, slacken it off a bit. Bang, there we go, that's in. And I have a feeling that this one's a little bit too slack, so I'll take the toggle clamp off, give it a turn. That's still too slack. Another turn. That's still too slack. Another turn. And maybe another one. There. You can kind of feel it snapping, and then you know you've got the tension right on those toggle clamps. So that is the actual handle fixed, but now we've got to make sure that the cables are run correctly. So next we've got to fix the plastic cable clamp. Now that is a really strange shape, but there are two indents there for cables, and there's one at the top for a large cable. Now what I'm going to do, because there's no instructions, is to put the bottom cable in the bottom indent, the top cable in the top indent, and just clamp it like that. So they just kind of slot in, and you've got to hold them in place like so, and then clip it over the bottom handle. You can slide it up or down to tidy the cables, and that does actually tidy those cables very neatly. So you can see there we've got the cable that's at the bottom of the handle in that little indent in the bottom, and then the top one in there. What you must do before you do anything else is to put oil inside the engine. So the instructions say to use SAE 30 oil. Now this is Briggs & Stratton 4-stroke engine oil. So the oil tank capacity is 470 millilitres, 0.47 of a litre. And obviously when you remove the cap with the dipstick on, this is where you can put the oil. Don't go mad because you don't want to overfill it. That doesn't look like it's on the dipstick yet. Yep, that's fine, I think. One more check. That is bang on the maximum mark. So that's the engine filled with oil. The one last thing I need to do is to put this cable through the eye. Now the reason I've left this until last is because I didn't want to inadvertently start the engine. So it just loops around the back and in like that. Now, apart from petrol, this mower is ready to go. So that completes unboxing and setup. I hope you found that useful. Thank you very much for watching, and please take care.